And I want to spend just a few minutes this morning talking to you about what the mainframe roadmap and vision is. Yesterday, you heard John and Ali and Steve talk about the mainframe in the context of everything we're doing, but I want to talk to you this morning about the mainframe roadmap and some of the things that we're working on right now. The mainframe, of course, is really where we all came from. It's been around a really long time. Many of you, I know, have worked with the mainframe. Many of you, I also know, have no idea what I'm talking about, mentioning no names, Josh Newton. Are you here yet, Josh? Okay, there's definitely going to be trouble later. Okay, so our mainframe team that Doug mentioned earlier has been with us a very long time. And they've been developing our solution, ChangeMan, throughout all of those years. Now, I know what you're thinking about the mainframe. You're thinking that the mainframe is a whole bunch of dinosaurs. Well, yes, we are a whole bunch of dinosaurs, but we are cute. And we're blue. And it is where we all came from. And of course, the mainframe has evolved over the years. It's still cute. It now flies. It's still blue. And today, really, our mainframe has moved on leaps and bounds, and it is at the heart of many of the business systems that we talk about. In fact, today, every one of us in some way, shape, or form is going to touch, it is estimated, 4 mainframes. When you buy gas, when you use a credit card, when you take an airplane flight, you use a mainframe. And of course, the mainframe continues to evolve in surprising directions. I'd like to have a big shout out, first of all, to all the mainframe customers who are here. So if the mainframe customers could give us a cheer. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about the roadmap and vision and none of this fun stuff anymore. So for the next 12 to 18 months, we're focused on 4 main areas. The most important thing is this thing we talk about called modern payloads. Now, the mainframe has this reputation for being something that runs in COBOL or an assembler, and it takes forever to get anything done. And that used to be true. But of course, the mainframe is the most scalable and most secure platform for running enterprise systems. And therefore, people are now moving their Java payloads and their C payloads onto the mainframe. They're moving them onto the mainframe natively, and they're also moving them into the Unix system services part of the mainframe as well. Because that's an integral part of everything that you do, it's essential for Serena to be able to support you. Well, what's also changing then is that the way in which you do that development. And so people are now saying, you know what, developing Java on the mainframe isn't an appropriate platform. Developing Java where you have file names that are 256 bytes long, it is not appropriate on a screen that's only 80 columns wide. So the development of software on the mainframe is being moved to other platforms. And it's particularly being moved to Eclipse-based platforms. Eclipse has this wonderful plug-in architecture that enables you to embed technologies that talk to other things. And just as we have with Dimension CM, built a plug-in for developers to support configuration management in Windows and Unix, we've built that same plug-in into Eclipse to support mainframe development. And what this means is that as you are writing code in your Eclipse IDE, when you save that code, you're doing a check-in back to the mainframe. And so this means that that rich, safe, secure, configuration-managed environment that you know and trust, we call ChangeMan ZMF, continues to be a solid part of your infrastructure, even though now you're doing offloaded development in Eclipse or something similar. The mainframe is no longer an island. The mainframe is an integral part of your entire technology infrastructure. As we heard from Prakash, their policy-based release management running on a Windows, on a web platform, is controlling how people do release management on the mainframe. And so it's essential for us to be able to do that kind of integration of our mainframe tools with all the other tools that you use. So another very important driving force behind everything we're doing on the mainframe right now is making integration possible. And finally, automation. There are so many parts of the life cycle that we still have as manual steps. And every part of what we're doing in our mainframe development is to make sure we eliminate those manual steps and make them as automated as possible. In many ways, we are the cobbler's children. We still think it's okay for us to do manual steps that we wouldn't expect our end users to do because we would automate it for them. And so we're turning that spotlight of automation and integration on ourselves and taking out some of those manual processes that we have. Now, rather than drill down into bits and bytes and details, I want to talk to you about how some of the customers are taking these innovations and exploiting them and making them an integral part of what they do. Let me tell you a tale of two banks who are in the process of modernizing. One of those banks has an enterprise service bus that manages their entire deployment activities. Whilst they are very sophisticated and advanced in most of the things that they do, their ticketing system is still based in something called Infomanager, sorry. IBM will never forgive me. Now, Infoman is a 30-year-old ticketing system running on the mainframe, but it is what they have all of their investment in. And so making sure that Infoman works with ChangeMan ZMF seamlessly and that there is bidirectional communication between the tickets and the actions placed on those tickets back into their enterprise SDLC is essential. And so using the open architecture that we now have in our mainframe tools, they've been able to do that. Another one of those banks is making massive exploitation of the Eclipse plugin, and they're using it to make sure that they can drive releases through the enterprise release option, which is the big release management capability that's now in ChangeMan ZMF. What's really interesting, in the latest version of that Eclipse plugin, all the ZMF functionality, the freezing of packages, the promotion of code to different promotion levels, reverting code, whatever it is that you want to do, is now a capability that's accessible from the Eclipse plugin. Let's talk about two insurance companies. One of those insurance companies has made it their strategy that everything they want to do is based around web services. As you know, about 2 years ago, we introduced web services as the API for ChangeMan ZMF. The API for ChangeMan ZMF, it's a mainframe product. Why would you make it a web services-based thing? Well, in fact, we got a lot of criticism for doing that because people said, who's ever going to want to have web services running on the mainframe, and why would you want it in a configuration management tool? It turns out now that because we took that bold move, it is now possible for our customers to be able to integrate to ZMF very quickly from all of the tools they're now acquiring that run on other platforms. And because of this, and because this is a fundamental integration point for SBM, it's making it possible now for SBM-based ticketing systems for incident management and problem management and change management all to be integrated directly into the mainframe systems in a matter of minutes, not weeks or months, as it might have been in the past. And one of these insurance companies then has, again, automated their entire life cycle. This is a company in Europe. They've automated their entire SDLC using SBM, and that includes interacting with ZMF at the point in the life cycle where code needs to be frozen and promoted, as we discussed earlier. Let me tell you about a couple of retail giants. One of them has taken SBM, ChangeMan, and Dimension CM and has taken their own way of doing software development, taken their own SDLC, and implemented that in SBM. But because so many parts of their SDLC require them to coordinate the delivery process from distributed-based tools and mainframe-based tools into production, they make sure that they do that through SBM, through the workflow, but they fire the action through the APIs into both Dimension CM and into ChangeMan ZMF. The second one of those has taken that all the way through to their release management processes. And I was talking to them yesterday about what their expectations were to learn about release management here. And what they said was, we've taken release management to a level of understanding that they have not got to yet. And so they're very interested to take our release management solutions they heard about in the breakouts yesterday. So the story here is that whatever your way of doing software development is, we're paying very close attention to it. We're building our tools, we're focused on building our tools in a way in which we can adopt to your process. We have a great methodology guru here at Serena. His name's Ashley Owen. He talks funny like me too. And he said to me, Kevin, it's process first, tool second. And it's vital that whatever we do when we build our solutions, it's in support of your process. Because the risk profile, the time to market issues that you face, the governance issues that you face, they're all different one to the other. And it's our job to support that process. And so all of the things that we're driving on right now in the Mainframe roadmap about being able to support you in what you do. I want to signpost a couple of sessions for you. I would really encourage you to go and listen to Russell from LabCorp. He's going to be spending a lot of time commiserating Josh Newton. And hear how they've actually gone ahead and done that integration between our three flagship products. Go listen to what Vi has to say about what they've done at City using the SOAP interface, integrating to the mainframe. Hey, Doug, I bet you never thought you'd hear the word SOAP and mainframe together. Right. And I really want you to go and listen to what Ron Polaniuk has to say. Because what Ron's going to talk to you about is how easy we've made it to get from your current version of ChangeMan to version 7. Version 7 has all the good stuff in it. If you're not on version 7, you need to be, because that's the platform you need to drive your development forward, because that gives you that rich open architecture, that support of your methodologies, that ability to completely offload your development so if you're modernizing. So go and listen to what Ron has to say if you're a Mainframe customer. If you want to find out more about the Mainframe roadmap, please track down Mark Levy, and he'll be happy to talk to you about it. He had a roadmap session yesterday, but he's always happy to talk to you. Thank you very much. Now